Did you know that the Embraer Phenom 300E, a sleek and luxurious private jet, has been a favorite among celebrities and business moguls for its blend of speed, range, and comfort? But beyond its polished exterior and impressive performance, what's the real cost of owning one of these high-flying machines? From initial purchase to maintenance surprises and hidden fees, we're diving deep into the financials to reveal what it truly takes to soar in a Phenom 300E. Stay tuned, because the sky-high truth might just surprise you. The Embraer Phenom 300E is a real gem in the light jet business. Not only is it approved for operation by a single pilot, it's also the fastest and longest-range business jet that can be flown by a single pilot. When tuned for range, the 300E can go up to 2,010 nautical miles without stopping. The plane can stay at a normal speed of 464 knots when it is speed optimized. And if that wasn't enough, the unique oval light interior has the most head and leg room of any light jet and can fit up to 10 people. Before choices, the base price to buy this amazing jet is $10 million, and the charter price is about $3,000 to $4,000 an hour. Prices will of course change based on things like supply, fuel costs, ground fees, and more. You need to think about two types of costs: set costs and variable costs. There are some costs that you always have to pay. Costs of doing business. Fixed costs don't change whether the plane goes or not. These costs stay the same no matter how long the plane is in the air. The 5 factors that make up the annual fixed cost of running are the ones that affect it the most. Set prices. The first is crew pay. The crew pay is a big one when it comes to fixed costs. The flight team will need to be paid whether the plane is in the air or not. This price will change based on the area and the type of plane. For instance, in some parts of the world, the cost of work is less than in others. Furthermore, bigger planes need more people. The crew's pay ranges from $180,000 to $220,000 a year. Training the team is the second. No matter if your plane goes or not, this cost will keep coming up every year. It's important to have well-trained crew members. They are an important part of keeping your plane safe and running smoothly. Crew training will cost between $23,000 and $30,000. Hangar is the third. When storing an airplane, you can either use a cage or a tie-down. People who own planes usually don't leave them out in the wind and rain. It is safe to assume that most private planes will be kept in hangars when they are not in use. The price range for the hangar is $27,000 to $35,000. Safety is the fourth. To put it simply, private planes need 2 different kinds of protection. Getting insurance. The first is protection for liability. Third parties, like passengers, cargo, and bags, are protected against loss, damage, or harm due to this. The second is protection for the hull. The value of the plane is used to set the hull insurance policy. In the event of a total loss, the agreed value, not the present market value, is what the insurance company will pay. These are 2 very important types of insurance for private planes. But owners might also want to think about crew insurance and aircraft hull war insurance. War insurance for the hull of an airplane covers the loss of the plane because of war, hijacking, confiscation, intentional damage, and other similar events. This is usually the choice of owners who are going to dangerous places with their planes. Crew insurance lets pilots and other crew members get better benefits as employees. For example, it can cover loss of license, personal accident, and trip insurance. The cost of insurance is expected to be $18,000 to $26,000. Management is the 5th and last one. A flight management team takes care of everything that is needed to fly the plane. To give you an example, your aircraft management business can find and manage pilots to make sure the plane is safe to fly. Of course, you can choose self-management, which means that your driver is in charge of running the plane. This choice is rarely chosen, though. So, in the example of ownership costs, we'll say that an aircraft management company is involved. The cost of management is thought to be $43,000 to $53,000. All in all, the Phenom 300E will cost between around $271,000 and $364,000. Before we get into the variable costs of this jet, please make sure you hit that like and subscribe button for more amazing videos in the world of luxury. Variable costs. Costs that change, on the other hand, are directly related to how many hours the plane goes each year. The plane will cost you more the more you fly it. So, The expected variable cost is given as an hourly rate, which means it tells you how much more the plane will cost you per flight hour. We took 4 things into account when we came up with the hourly changeable cost. The first is fuel. When you run your own private plane, fuel costs are a big hourly cost. Of course, the plane will burn a lot of different amounts of fuel each hour, based on how much it usually uses in an hour. Of course, gas prices vary a lot based on where you live. About 160 gallons or 606 liters of fuel are burned by the Phenom 300E every hour. That's why fuel costs between $800 and $1,280. The second one is upkeep. Maintenance must be done on planes on a daily basis to make sure they are safe to fly. These times are set and depend on the manufacturer's instructions. Maintenance is planned based on how many hours the plane has been flown. One plane might need to be inspected every 100 hours, for instance. Not only that, but these maintenance tasks are directly related to how many hours the plane has driven. This means that the plane will need more maintenance the more it goes. Also, this cost takes into account any upkeep that needs to be done that wasn't planned. For instance, a bird strike or a flat tire will cause an unplanned repair check. It will cost between $210 and $270 to do the repairs. The third is fixing up the engine. An engine overhaul is a more important planned event that basically just checks and maintains the engine. That being said, just like with the aircraft, the more an engine is used, the more damage it will take. So, an engine repair will need to be done more often if the plane has been flown more hours. A repair of the engine will cost between $290 and $350 per flight hour. The last one is fees for the crew. Arrival and handling. You need to pay the crew fees when you stay for a long time. Crew fees also change a lot depending on where you stay and how long you stay. It will cost a lot more for the crew to stay overnight in New York City than in Wichita, Kansas. This includes things like hotels and food. Second, planes are charged a landing fee when they arrive at an airport. This fee is usually based on the weight of the plane. Because of this, bigger planes have to pay more to land than smaller planes. Different airports will charge different landing fees. For instance, if you often flew out of New York's LaGuardia Airport, the landing fees would be higher than if you often flew out of Wichita National Airport. Last but not least, handling fees and arrival fees go hand in hand. When you get to the ground, you'll need the plane to be safely stopped, your bags to be unloaded, and other services. About $300 to $400 will be charged for crew, landing, and handling. The Phenom 300E is thought to cost between $1,600 and $2,300 an hour. Enjoyed this one and would like to see more? Click on this video for another journey through a full comparison of 2 giants. The Dassault Falcon 10X versus Bombardier Global 8000. See you there in a second.